Have you ever felt like you're playing a game, but you don't know all the rules? Like life is a puzzle, and you're missing a few key pieces. Florence Scovel Shinn's classic book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, has helped so many people find their way. But what if I told you that centuries earlier, ancient Chinese philosophers had already unlocked some of the most profound secrets to living with more ease, clarity, and harmony? These timeless teachings show us that life doesn't have to be a constant battle. We can actually move through it with grace, rhythm, and a deep inner strength. So if you're ready to explore how this ancient wisdom can make your game of life easier, calmer, and way more meaningful, grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. One of the most beautiful lessons from Chinese philosophy is this: be like water. The wise sage Lao Tzu, who wrote the Tao Te Ching, said, "Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water, yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it." Think about that. Water seems gentle, even passive, but it's one of the most powerful forces on Earth. It carves canyons and shapes mountains, not by force, but by flowing with persistence and grace. In life's game, we're often taught to fight hard, to hustle, to push forward no matter what. But Lao Tzu offers a different strategy. Don't force it, flow with it. When something blocks your path, it doesn't always mean you need to crash through it. Sometimes the wisest move is to pause, look around, and find a way around the obstacle. This preserves your energy and your peace. This idea fits perfectly with Florence Scovel Shinn's teaching on aligning with divine flow, trusting the timing of your life and surrendering the struggle. This is the heart of the Taoist principle of Wu Wei, which we'll talk more about later. It means effortless action, or acting in harmony with the moment. Flowing like water means being flexible, not weak. It's knowing when to stand firm and when to bend. It's trusting your direction, even when the path ahead isn't clear. When you start to live this way, challenges lose their power over you. You start to see detours not as setbacks, but as part of a greater redirection. Think about a time you tried to force something. Maybe a job, a relationship, or a project. It probably led to stress, burnout, and disappointment, right? Now think about a time you let go, even just a little. Maybe you didn't get that job, but it led you to a much better one. Or a relationship ended, but in the quiet that followed, you found clarity and healing. Water teaches us that the path is always there. We just have to soften enough to see it. So here's a quick practice. The next time you face a challenge, an unexpected delay, a conflict, a closed door, just pause. Ask yourself, how can I flow around this instead of fighting it? It might mean changing your approach, softening your tone, or even stepping back for a bit. Trust that doing less doesn't mean you're settling. It means you're moving with wisdom, not just willpower. Over time, you'll notice life becomes smoother, not because it gets easier, but because you're more graceful in how you meet it. Now let's talk about balance. The ancient Chinese masters observed a truth that we see everywhere. Everything is made of opposites that need each other. This is the essence of Yin and Yang. If this sounds a bit abstract, let me break it down. Yin represents stillness, rest, the moon, the intuitive, and the quiet. Yang is the opposite. It embodies movement, action, the sun, the rational, and the loud. Neither one is good or bad. In fact, true harmony doesn't come from picking a side, but from learning how to dance between them. Think about it in your own life. You breathe in, that's yin. You breathe out, that's yang. There's work and rest, silence and expression, holding on and letting go. Life is a constant rhythm of yin and yang. When one dominates for too long, things feel out of sync. Too much yang, constant doing, pushing, noise, and you burn out. Too much yin, too much stillness, avoidance, and quiet, and you stagnate. So, why does this matter in the game of life? Florence Scovel Shinn talks about faith and taking inspired action. Chinese wisdom agrees, but adds a crucial layer: knowing. When to act, Yang, and when to wait, Yin, is an art form. You win the game not just by pushing ahead, but by knowing when to pause, reflect, and receive. Balance allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting. Have you ever been completely exhausted from overworking, but you feel too wired to actually rest? That's a classic yin-yang imbalance. Or maybe you've been in a phase of putting things off, telling yourself you're waiting for the right time, when really you're just avoiding action. That's imbalance too. Learning to spot these moments and gently correct your course is a skill that will change everything. Here's a quick practice for today. Just notice where you're leaning. Are you in constant motion, struggling to slow down? That's too much Yang. Are you hesitating, avoiding decisions or important conversations? That's too much Yin. Now ask yourself, what would restore my balance right now? Maybe it's a quiet walk in nature. Maybe it's finally making that phone call. It could be doing less, or it could be doing one small, meaningful thing with your full attention. You don't have to fix everything overnight. Balance isn't a finish line. It's a rhythm you return to, again and again. This brings us to one of the most powerful ideas in Taoist philosophy, Wu Wei. It's often translated as effortless action or non-doing. But Wu Wei doesn't mean doing nothing. It's not about being lazy. It is about acting in such complete harmony with the natural flow of life that what you do feels smooth, aligned, and almost easy. Think of a time when you were completely in the zone, totally absorbed in something you love. Maybe you were painting, writing, gardening, or having a deep conversation. You lost all track of time. You didn't have to force your focus or motivation. Your actions just flowed, and the results seemed to unfold naturally. That is the feeling of Wu Wei. When you're in a state of Wu Wei, you're not fighting the current. You're not trying to control every single detail. You're engaged and responsive, but without any strain. This connects directly to what Florence Scovel Shinn teaches about faith and alignment. When you connect with your higher self, life becomes less about chasing and more about receiving. Wu Wei is the practical application of this. Stop chasing and start aligning. We often confuse effort with effectiveness, but real power comes not from pushing harder, but from knowing how and when to act with ease. When your actions reflect who you truly are, your values, your joy, your purpose, life stops feeling like a constant uphill battle. You move forward not because you force yourself to, but because it just feels right. You've definitely felt this before. Contrast that feeling with times you've tried to force something, like working a job you didn't want to care about, or staying in a relationship that was built on pleasing others. That's the opposite of Wu Wei. One path opens doors with grace. The other slams them shut with burnout. To bring more Wu Wei into your life, start by asking yourself these questions. What energizes me, even when it's hard? What activities feel natural to me, not forced? And where in my life am I feeling the most resistance? Then, you can begin to gently shift your actions toward what feels effortlessly aligned. You don't have to change your whole life at once. Even one small shift, like saying no to something that drains you to make space for something that lights you up, can change your entire direction. Follow what genuinely inspires you. That's your inner compass guiding you toward Wu Wei, where effort fades and ease takes its place. These ancient teachings aren't just ideas to think about. They are meant to be lived, gently, patiently, moment by moment. So take a second right now and ask yourself, am I flowing or am I forcing? Do I need more stillness or more movement? Where can I act with less effort, but with more intention? You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to start noticing. Because once you learn how to play the game of life with the grace of water, the balance of yin and yang, and the quiet strength of Wu Wei, you won't just move through life, you'll glide through it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on living a more meaningful life. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care.